Was there? Okay. All right,
25. Order. This meeting has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with Public Law 75, Chapter 231. Advance written notice was posted on the Egg Harbor City Hall Bulletin Board. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted in the Egg Harbor City website and also notified the Hamilton Gazette, the News and the Press, and the Current, but I don't think we have the.
no news either. Where'd you get news?
Yeah.
I'm thinking all.
All right, number 3, roll call, please.
Mayor Jim Petty,
Here.
Clark. Here. Dash,
Here.
Joby,
Here.
Galloway,
Here.
Heiss.
Here.
Hesse,
Here.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers,
Here.
Wright. Oh, Councilman Wright will not be here tonight.
Okay, number 4 on the agenda is approve the minutes of April 10th. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. Motion passes. Okay, number 5 is public comment or agenda items only. For anybody that wishes to be heard on any of the agenda items. Seeing none, we'll move to the mayor's report.
Okay, so just an update, the lake opening's going very well, the opening activities. The guys put in a new pavilion there, waiting to put the roof on. Jerry could probably talk more about that later, and we also have new benches this year. The cleanup day, obviously, I've been saying, is on Saturday from 8 to 12. If anyone would like to sign up to help or clean up the street, please let me know. I have probably almost 300 people signed up. Saturday, May 3rd, I'm sorry, 8 to 12, not this Saturday. Merit Walk, I think I announced that before, Sunday, the 18th of May at Peace Pilgrim Park from 1 and 2. And our Memorial Day service is ready to roll May 26th, 10 a.m. at Lincoln Park. The tower site is apparently moving along very well too. Still waiting for Pineland's final letter, and hopefully that'll be coming soon. And I am scheduling a steering committee meeting for the BDA stakeholders that I identified. So hopefully that'll be somewhere around May 5th. And I guess, Jerry, if you would like to join us, it's totally up to you, because you're kind of a Brownsfield expert.
Yeah.
So I'll send you an invitation also.
That's my first official full day.
Okay. So I'm hoping. And then Chief is not going to be here this evening, so she gave me her report to read. Let me see where to start here. Hold on. Okay. She has here 1 fraud, 1 theft, 6 motor vehicle accidents, 5 pedestrian stop checks, and 49 traffic stops. Summons is issued 14, DUI arrest 0, total arrests 12. And other incidents, alarm, residential, crime prevention, criminal mischief, domestic, EMS, crime prevention 71, EMS 22, property checks 240, follow-up 5, public service 3, alarmed 8, alarm residential 1. And then I don't think she has any notes, but I know there this past, I think it was Thursday, there was a class here, but I think it was the Little Lambs pre-K. I'm not quite sure, but they're on foot, and I know they weren't teachers, so the kids had a good time at the police department. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We get into council committee reports. Let's start on this end, if we could, Ms. Clark.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, for the school board, okay. Mr. Dovey, for
Public
DPW.
Works, we have one agenda item, a renewal of our contract with Highway Motors for a 1-year term, and I'll let Jerry give a more detailed report on Public Works activities over the last 2 weeks.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay, Mr. Timbers, Councilman Timbers for license ordinance and land use.
Okay, we did not have a meeting this Tuesday, however, there are, several ordinances that will be reviewed. I'm hoping to have a meeting, next Tuesday, just to, review those items.
Okay,
At this point, I don't have much to talk about because they're all new. However, there is the one, there are some new ones, but there are some others that we are, I think we're finalizing the ordinances. The ones for, the trash receptacles, as well as there's another one for,
The
at the drought, yes.
Okay.
Do also want to talk about, the, land use board.
if you have anything.
So on April 15th, the land use board met at 7:00 p.m. There was one item to discuss. It was a resolution for Jess Holdings LLC. They're located at 1301 to 24 Martin Wilson Drive, Egg Harbor City. It's block 1001, lot 4, in the industrial business park. And the applicant, Jess Holdings LLC, they were seeking preliminary and final site plan approval with variances to construct a 3,000 square foot greenhouse and a 900 square foot office and storage building for use in connection with the cultivation of cannabis at that property. They're not trying to do anything else. It's not going to be any manufacturing or retail. They did discuss security, and they were following all security protocols that are directed by the state CRC and also with our local police department. That was reviewed by the board and accepted. And there's nothing to report for Iron Gate.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Hesse for safety, code enforcement, and Rotary.
Safety committee, I don't have anything, but Jerry may have something. The code committee, what I have to say about that is, an offer letter was sent and accepted by our new code enforcement, officer. His starting date will be June 2nd. Other than that, I don't have anything else in code. And Rotary, the Easter egg hunt was a success. It was the Rotary would like to thank everyone who took part in the event. It was a very nice event, and that's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you. Councilwoman Galloway for property,
Nothing for property,
su-
sustainable.
for sustaining.
Okay, I have a little bit here to read.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Arbor Day, 3 to 6 p.m. at Peace Pilgrim Park. We have 15 6 to 8 foot tall trees to give away to residents that they can plant in their front yards or backyards. We have northern red oak, river birch, ivory silk lilac, and flowering dogwoods. So they're really pretty trees. Several of them flower. The river birch is good for low-lying areas, so they like water. We also have red oak and dogwood saplings to give away. We have 50 of them, 25 of each, and we have pots that people can plant their own in the greenhouse there. Brenda Ruth will be, she did the photo contest this year for the second year in a row, and we'll be presenting awards to the winners, and we'll have all of the photos on display so people could vote for best in show. Residents can also sign up for our rain barrel workshop. Did I put the date here? That's Saturday, May 10th, 10 a.m. at the pavilion at the lake. The rain barrels are already assembled. They won't be making them there, but you have to be a resident to take one home. But they will be doing a demonstration on how to attach them to the downspouts. We also have the Mountain Laurel Walk, 10 a.m. Saturday, May 24th, the nature trail at the lake. We had a resident who transplanted some milkweed up in.
Did you get pictures? Because I think I have to submit.
Yeah, I do. And the last day of the last event of our spring environmental series is a potting party at Peace Pilgrim Park, 10 a.m. Saturday, May 31st. And you bring the pot and we supply the soil and the plants. We also posted several videos about forestry on our website. I encourage you to view them. They're not very long. But they talk a lot about our New Jersey forest lands and what's happening there. So go to Sustainable Egg Harbor City, sustainableehc.org, and it's on the video page. Also, the agenda tonight has an award for a maintenance contract from our bid opening last week. I'm really excited about that. Finally get to address some of our problem trees, and you'll see a lot of removals over the next couple months. And maybe do a planting in the fall if the weather cooperates. We're still in a drought, but we might do a planting anyway. We'll see. There's also new guidance that came out yesterday from Sustainable Jersey regarding the tree removal and replacement ordinance. So we're going to review that again, and we'll be introducing it at an upcoming meeting. This is close to my heart. I wanted to shout out to the New Jersey Forest Fire Service, who's working really hard to contain that Pinelands fire in Ocean County. Today, I published a story on my website that they arrested a teenager who set, some pallets on fire and, bonfire in the woods, which is popular, even with our kids here. So I really wanted to ask parents to talk to their children here in Egg Harbor City. There's a lot of kids who like to party at the lake and in the woods. No fires until the drought is done. No fires in our woods, because we have a lot of fuel there that can burn more than in Ocean County. Our forest areas are really congested with debris, so it's no fires.
Did you see anything did the governor put another ban on fires, like, yard, in your yard and things like that? Or, because he
That was
lifted
about a
it,
month ago.
but he lifted it.
No, I don't think it was ever lifted.
I didn't see the new one.
I don't think it was lifted, but we're still in a drought. It's a little bit better from the rain, but not much. We're still like 15 inches low on water, so. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any reports from Councilwoman Heiss, Councilman Dash? No. Anything? Okay. The only thing I have to report on finance is there's some activity that we've been talking with potential developers for the Egg Harbor North, the Gateway West areas in town that we're really looking to do some redevelopment. And there's interest, definitely interest, and we might even have some competition on some of those areas. So we'll see. We don't have anything specific at this point, but there has been a lot of discussions happening. And we have a meeting coming up on Monday with the finance redevelopment. Okay, number 9 on our agenda.
Joe, don't forget the industrial site. John Coolins, remember we met them on Saturday? I don't know if you want to
Right.
mention that.
Yeah, the property in the industrial park that was cleared for the growing facility, 63,000 square foot growing facility, was approved at the land use board. The gentleman that was doing that project found a building in Buna, and he moved his whole operation over there. But he has some buyers for the project that he originated. And we met with them on Saturday this past week, and they're very interested. And they're doing their due diligence right now to find out what they can do. They want to do it in phases, where his project was going to be all built at the same time. They want to try to do it in phases, so they have to talk to our professionals and see what's
Is that cannabis too?
cannabis, the growing facility.
That's on Moss Mill. Moss Mill.
Moss Mill and just off of Raymond.
I know they needed variances for that, right?
No.
Because of
No,
the-
he's got all his approvals.
Because of the-
Yeah,
Okay.
Early approvals, I think.
It's a shovel-ready project.
The one thing that held him up at first was the stormwater, but he straightened all that out.
And they have Pinelands approval and everything.
Right.
They got Pinelands too late, though. They were losing their investors, so they had to go find a brick and mortar to start their project. And that's why they didn't build in Egg Harbor City. It wasn't by choice. It was by,
Yeah,
they wanted to be here. Pinelands pushed their hands that they basically had to move. They were gonna lose their investors and lose a lot of money.
I have a question. And finance, did we hear anything from Dr. Troppi?
You got to see out.
I.
No, we
That's
haven't.
CO?
He's
Yeah.
happy, I'm sure.
But
You
when's it
know,
gonna start? He said,
I mean, as far as doing the facility,
start
Growing.
growing.
I will find out. That's a good question. And we did make contact with the guy for Dr. Rinaldi for the
No,
St.
um,
Nicholas. Saint-
Laredo.
The Raider.
Laredo. And he said he's moving forward. So everything's, and then the next day after I heard that, there were people out there surveying the property.
Mhm.
So that's
And
moving forward.
Getting back to the industrial park. He did have a license at one time, whether he renewed it or not, I don't know, but Trocky, does have a
He doesn't
license.
have one for the new license that.
That's what he
We're
needed
gonna
our
have to update our
ordinance.
ordinance. We're gonna have to update our ordinance before he's even issued a license.
Because I thought he gave it to Angela because there was a big issue with
No,
that
he has a license. Cultivation. Yeah, he has original.
for medical. For medical?
That was a change from last.
Okay.
And we don't have it in our ordinance to have. We have this, the dual ordinance, like a license with both.
We don't have for recreational cultivation, we don't have that in our ordinance.
No, we have it all, but for him to have one license with both
Oh,
is not mentioned in our ordinance.
I mean, I think he still, regardless, he needs to have two.
Yeah, yeah, but when, Chris or you, I could too, like, we need it in our application that.
I think the
Yeah.
application process is a little unclear about whether, he will have to. Was it about him, was it about,
I think
some of those
everything,
others?
like
Yeah, in
anything
terms,
coming.
well, they have to go through the entire application process again with
Yeah.
the city, pay the fees, do everything they need to do.
And we need to update
So we
our
still need to
ordinance to
update
reflect
that,
that.
yeah, we still need to.
Is he still doing medical or just recreation? Okay.
Well, the last meeting that you attended, Elena, the same thing was discussed, and you were saying that we had to update the other part of the ordinance
Yeah.
or another ordinance, so.
Is someone working on that, to update it?
Not yet, we haven't
Not
suggested
yet.
it yet, I mean, somebody has to,
Yeah, he has to request what he needs as far as
I mean, I think
getting this.
everybody
the second
knows what he
license.
needs from what he was approved in the new ordinance, but.
He has
Let
to
me-
start it.
Can I say something? I mean, we really pushed that through for him. And I would like to see this move forward.
You're right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we'll be in contact with him for sure. All right, number,
Jody's not here.
yeah, CFO is not here. I gotta put my glasses.
I'm next.
City clerk.
No, I
I just want to mention that, we do have an ordinance for personalized handicap spaces for people who come in and show all the proof they need and everything. So we don't do many of them, but we do have another one that went through and it was approved. Jerry met out there with the crew and also we're working on it.
Yeah.
However, in our ordinance, we only charge $100, which is currently not covering the sign cost and the painting and the work involved in making
Completing the process,
completing the
yeah.
project. So that's an ordinance we're gonna, at your next meeting, if Jerry's there or any, we can send you the information if you don't need anybody there. Just that we want to increase the fee and it's 100 now to 200. So that would be the only change in the ordinance. And it's only to cover cost, and I don't even think that's the cost, it's really the cost of the sign is, so. It's each year. We're gonna, yeah, and after, it is renewed yearly after that, but in the beginning, it's still 200, it's 200 annually, but the whole, in the beginning is really to pay for. The cost of putting the signs up and painting the street and all that jazz.
Is there a reason why it needs to be $200 for the renewal though?
That's what we did in 2019 to renew it every year. I mean, there are things involved, like the police go out, like there is cost involved in it because they have to inspect it and. And this is already, we had two at one time. Now we have none, but this is our first one again, so.
Yeah, but we're not buying signs again, and we're not painting
Yeah.
again, right? Every year.
I mean, it's in the ordinance.
Yeah, we wouldn't be painting every year, Steve, but we
Yeah.
would be painting every couple of years because it'll eventually fade. We
Is-
want to make sure it's bright enough to be seen.
Sure.
Is there anything in the ordinance that said if the handicap resident moves or passes away that we remove?
Yes, we just had one like that. It was in Philadelphia Village. I don't
Yeah.
remember, he was the
Because
guy. who
there's
was
also
associated.
one
Remember the
on-
thing?
Mhm.
What avenue is it?
It
You
was
know
in
who I'm
the
talking
Phil-
about? No, not in the village, by the diner.
We probably don't even know about that one, because that's.
Is that right next door to the diner?
Is it Buffalo? Is that Buffalo Avenue?
Cincinnati.
Senior,
Probably not even legal, because the only one we have since we had the ordinance.
he doesn't live there. But the handicap spot is still there.
Well,
Right.
$200, maybe they'll give it back.
Can the signs
That
be
one
reused,
was
Jerry?
never done properly, because we just passed the ordinance in 2019. I've had two since then.
Okay, so that's an illegal one. So that sign should probably be removed
Right,
because,
that address down, but, this, like you were saying, yes, we take them away when they move. And that's part of the cost too of. And the people don't have a problem, they're just happy to have the parking spot, but.
I think 200 renewals a lot. I do agree. I think 200 to cover costs and then maybe 100. Because I know with Mr. Rodriguez,
Thing you can change in it, the renewal fee.
Mr. Rodriguez was,
So
having trouble getting.
refer that back to
people
the-
Well, because we did it was 100. And well, first of all, the renewal was 100, we were gonna increase everything to 2. Only because the sign is a lot more money than it was.
Yeah. You know, one thing, Meg, while it's your report, you mentioned something in your office earlier that I don't think people understand what you and Jackie do in there. Would you explain what you had to do last night?
Showing what was I saying? Oh,
Class.
no, I had, well, yeah, don't let me forget my second thing I was gonna say. Now, Jackie and I had to attend a mandatory election class. To learn how to work the booths, because we work on election day we have to be here at 5 in the morning till closing. And then we're usually out, the polls close at 8, but probably by the time we get out here, it's 9, a little after maybe. But we need to know how to work the polls as well. The new machines, like a lot of these poll workers are older. And they are complicated, but I took the test today, like, I'm like, I hope I pass. But it is a lot, when some of your poll workers are up in age and are getting out because of the new equipment. But it is a lot. And so anyway, we went to Newtonville, New Jersey.
Yeah.
This is my first city. It wasn't that far away. Black Horse.
It was learning how to work the machine, put it up, take it down.
Yeah, but it's good because we're here with the workers and there are problems that arise and. We're here, we're not really supposed to get involved in that, but I guess now. They're desperate and want us to be trained, we're trained enough to run it and call, make some phone calls, but now.
Help
I mean,
out.
last year, Jackie and I had got done, it's like 11 o'clock at night, we get called by the county and had to meet at Moravian Church. Because somebody left the box that last night, do not leave that box, like, I'm like, no, that's fine, they didn't leave that box. But, we had to come to the church, we had to find somebody to open the church. Jackie's knocking on the door of a man who said, you're lucky I heard your voice, because I have a gun, and I'm like, oh my God, but
I have a key.
anyway, we got in and it was church, but, so that's the kind of stuff, so it's good for us to know. How to close it out at the end of the night and all that in case they run into trouble, so that's where we were.
Don't forget your second thing.
Yeah, the second thing was on number 14 on the agenda, I have a motion to approve for Breaking Bread Ministries. Last year, we approved it. And we said we weren't gonna put it on the agenda anymore, that they wanted to do it yearly, but I put it on because I want people to be aware. I mean, we gave them a blanket approval and it is the coalitions involved in it and stuff, and that's kind of like a city organization. It doesn't necessarily need to be on here, but I put it on so people be aware it's happening. And I think we should probably know about it, so.
Good, very nice.
I was gonna send out an email, but if people hear it, but we did give a blanket approval.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if the
I
blanket
have a
approval is
question.
legal.
Okay.
Meg, are they looking for poll workers?
Oh, they're always looking for poll workers.
So who do they contact?
I can send you that information. I don't have it off my head, but it's the Board
But
of
they
Elections.
okay.
And it is like, it's a long day. I mean, I think they get paid now $200, which. It's a long day.
Yeah.
And they act like 200's like.
Yeah.
Lot.
Meg, I have a question to go back to the handicap signs. Is there any, do they have like a fund or a someplace that they hold this money? Like when you're not using it, or do you just, does it go into the general
I think it goes
funds?
in the general
Yeah.
fund.
Because I thought if it was,
The first goes to pay for the
right,
actual.
but I mean, after that, I figured if they just had,
And mine,
it was going to.
it's not a blanket approval, like, there's a whole process that goes involved in sending somebody out to make sure, like, if they have access to the rear of the property,
Yeah.
they're not
Right.
approved. It's only if there's certain circumstances that allow for it to be approved, and it's all in, I can send out the ordinance I'll send it to you for sure, send to everybody. But it was in 2019 that we did approve it. I don't know if you remember, a gentleman came, he lived in the village and He was having a hard time, so that's when Angela Costigan, she updated the ordinance and that's what we've been going by. Mind you, we don't get lots of them. And the more popular it gets, we might get more, but
I would think to answer Ken's question, all fees like that go into the general fund.
right, yeah.
And it's an
And look at the
anticipated.
trust, a specific. Judy probably could speak more on it, but a trust is something different.
Yeah.
That might be what
With
you're thinking
intended
of.
purpose, because it gets registered with DCA, the
Right.
trust does, everything else just goes into the general.
Right.
So, and if they have rear access or if they have parking in the terrace, I wouldn't approve it, I had to go out there to make sure that they didn't have that. So
Right.
if not, they can't, they have to park on their property.
Anything else, Nick?
That's all.
City administrator?
Thanks. To follow up on the mayor's report, we did have we are in the process of putting up or completing a pavilion, it's 14 by 12. And it'll look great there. It's a great addition to the entrance of the beach. We have benches yet to be installed and, over the winter, in between snowstorms, we built 8 new picnic tables this year. So on the contract with Highway, I want to thank Keith and Anita because we didn't have much back and forth. We really just added 3 new vehicles and removed 3 vehicles from the list. So there really isn't much of a modification. And I want to thank them for continuously being diligent and updating us and making sure that, we're on top of things. As far as the safety committee, this week I was able to update all of the POSHA, which is the public employers OSHA plans. There's quite a few of them. There were 5 of them. They're all updated in the different locations. And then we set up staff training. We have 4 mandatory training classes that are required with our insurance company. So all of those will be handled on one day in the beginning of June, probably the 1st or 2nd week of June. So we'll be updated. The good thing about that is that we'll have it here, so our staff will be able to come here, but other communities get invited, so they would also be invited to come here and have those sessions.
Is John part of that? The Augustino?
He's aware.
No, so he's aware of it, but Jim filled in from statewide insurance.
Okay.
From statewide. And there'll be people who I used to work with in Hamilton to come here because they have statewide as well. Regarding the tree contract, I reviewed the tree contract. It was complete without any fatal errors and looked great. We will be starting on that right away. In fact, when I communicated with the state, now they want a copy of our RFP and our contract so that they can start distributing it to other communities who have not done anything with the grant money that they have. So we're gonna have to give it to them for free then. I'm sorry about that, but we have to share.
All right, well,
All right. Yes. So, but there's over 100 trees that need to come down right off the bat. So I'm glad that those are the trees that we get called out on, in the middle of the night.
Does that company have a lot of time on it? Will they be able to start right away?
Yeah, they'll be able to start right away. Probably the first full week of May, they'll be able to start. The contract also has emergency, so they have to respond during emergencies within 2 hours as well. And so we have that included. Stumps are included in there, as well as tree pruning is included in there. So it's all encompassing. It's 3 years. It's a 3-year bid and extremely comprehensive. So we're out once and we're good for the next 3 years. We'll try to spend down all the money that's in the state gave us.
could we prioritize certain trees? I know there's one at the lake that needs to be removed before the season starts. It would be good.
They have 4 at the lake.
4.
Have 4 dead trees at the lake.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there were 4. I
Will
thought-
be prioritized because we have to make sure that
Yeah.
they're opening.
Yes,
Because right now it's great to work there because nobody's around. And then after that, they'll go on to the worst trees. So the trees are rated with a track rating. So they'll be moving through the community, trying to hit the worst trees. Some of the worst trees are actually right here, right around the corner. And then moving into other sections, but the lake contractor will be aware that the lake is a priority.
and another area is the Grover trees by the gazebo in Peace Pilgrim Park.
Yep.
If we could get them maintained, because we're expecting the statue to be installed, I'd like that to be taken care of
Did
before
you
we get
remember
that.
the statue? Was it July, August, or?
Well, yeah, we said her birthday's in July. They're having the celebration, I guess, that weekend.
Okay.
July
It gives me a
18th.
little bit of time.
But if we could get that done.
We have some trees that, would blow over if I blew on them, so I want to make sure those are taken care of as well.
And I just wanted to let you know, I found a nursery that has the Ben Franklin trees.
Okay.
They'll be in August. They'll be ready in August.
And Jerry, another thing on the tree grants, as they hopefully become available again with this extra money they have, one thing that I really would like to do, which I thought was going to be done with these grants, but we weren't able to do, is to clean up our local forests and also deal with the invasive species. Particularly, you see the wisteria growing everywhere. They're killing
See it
the
now.
trees.
I see it now because it's flower.
Yeah.
So hopefully other communities are not as proactive as we are and you lose the grant and then we can apply for that money. But I'm not really sure how much federal grant money is gonna be coming.
Yeah, we might only have it for this year. We might not get
But other
there.
communities, there are 8 other communities that got a $850,000 grant. And they're nowhere near starting. And so at some point, they'll probably just pull the trigger on them and tell them you're done.
Right,
So
If you,
that's the money we'll go after.
right.
I mean, those, it's bad, but if you go down the 100 block of Bremen Avenue, there's just a small portion now wisteria is starting, but it's gonna spread all the way. And
There's
that's,
also a couple
terrible.
of
and on San
small
Fran,
stands of bamboo.
Yes.
That if we don't take
Mhm.
care of it soon, will spread. So that's the one I think Havana.
yeah,
Across from the
You'll have to send me
Yeah.
just send
laundromat.
emails so I can kind of put that over there.
there's a ton of it in Egg Harbor City North, bamboo. It must have been in fashion in the 70s to plant bamboo.
Well, it's banned. You can't plant it. So
Very
it's in our
invasive.
ordinances. It's been in our ordinances for a long time, but. So please don't plant in bamboo.
Other than that, Public Works is moving along, but obviously we're, grass is growing and we're cutting grass and making sure that we're slowly progressing for the opening of the lake. There's a lot of work there and it's not something we can wait until the last minute. That's it.
Good,
Thanks.
thank you. Elena, anything for city attorney? No, okay, thank you for being here tonight. Brian, not coming tonight,
Vacation.
we don't have anything from Ryan, Jerry,
No,
Okay.
nothing.
He messaged me tonight, no.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
okay, good. All right, number 14 is motion to approve the event that Meg was discussing, use of Lincoln Park on May 17th by Breaking Bread Ministry, Reverend Cheryl Hicks, Community Outreach at 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
So motion. Second.
Motion made in second, we could just resolution.
That's it.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 15, resolution to award tree removal maintenance bid. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Joby,
Yes,
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes,
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
resolution passes. Number 16, renew contract for vehicle maintenance and repair services for Highway Motors. Contract period for May 1st, 20,205 to April 30th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been
Move-
made and
move
seconded. Questions?
Fast in the future.
Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Joby,
yes,
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
yes,
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 17, authorizing lien assignment for block 534 lot 18, which is 745 to 751 Havana Avenue. Is there a motion?
Motion.
second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Questions? Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Joby,
yes,
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
yes,
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
resolution passes. Number 18, authorizing the 2025 municipal aerial mosquito control agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Okay, number 19 is public hearing for ordinance number 2, 2025, calendar year 2025, to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limits and establish a cap bank.
Motion.
Second.
Motion to hold the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the public hearing is open for this particular ordinance, number 2. Anybody wish to be heard? Going twice, anybody wish to be heard? Make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, close the hearing, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, hearing closed, is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Joby,
Yeah,
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
okay, ordinance passes. Number 20 is to pay the bills.
I'll make.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded, all in favor, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Joby,
yes,
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, number 21 is comments from the mayor.
Just condolences to the Evangelist family. I don't know if all of you even know Betty Evangelist, but I think she was 97, 96. She passed away a couple days ago, and she's a longtime resident of Egg Harbor City. She used to live right on Liverpool Avenue. And then out to the lake with her daughter in her final years. But she was a former Citizen of the Year, I believe, and she was involved in Key Rec and a lot of other organizations in town. So she'll be greatly missed.
Anything else?
No.
Councilwoman Galloway?
Yes, my condolences to Lynn Resch and her family. I had the fortune of interviewing Betty when she was Citizen of the Year in I think it was 2013. And I think it was on the Egg Harbor pilot when I was doing that. She was quite a gal, quite a gal, very classy. And she showed me her bedroom when I was interviewing her. And she had this beautiful 4-poster bed that was an heirloom of their family. And she said she slept in that bed from when she was a little kid. And
Was the leak?
probably died in it, but huh?
She was a leak.
Yanko.
Yanko.
Oh, Yanko, that's right. yes.
So, but
Her
that's it.
sister married him.
That's all. Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
Councilwoman Hesse?
I just want to say I hope to see everybody tomorrow at the Arbor Day event at Peace Pilgrim Park. And then again, it's citywide cleanup on the 3rd. And just be aware of the quality alert, the air quality alerts that are out there, especially if you have respiratory problems. Other than that, nothing else.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Clark?
This Saturday is the opening season, T-ball season for the Crusaders. We're still accepting signups. It will be Saturday, the 26th at 10 a.m. at the Gavin Paps T-ball field. On the corner of Deer and St. Louis. Signups are $50 and hope to see everyone up there.
Good, thank you. Councilwoman Heist?
I just want to offer my condolences to Councilman Wright and his family on the loss of his dad. And that's all I have.
Okay, Councilman Dash?
Thank you.
Councilman Dovey?
just want to congratulate Rotary for a terrific Easter egg hunt. We were able to bring our granddaughter there. She had a great time. Very well run. Everybody who organized it did a great job. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Timbers?
I would just like to also, send my condolences and Councilman Wright on his father.
I too would, for the Evangelist family and the Resch family and the Wright family, offer my condolences. I don't have anything else. So we'll go to number 22, which is public comment. Anybody wish to be heard? Anybody else? No? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Motion has been made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion fixed. So that